Brand new motor. I put this up for a while. Actually, a while is more like probably about 4 years, 5 years now. I was unhappy with the amount of foot clearance I had down there. I didn't like where the seating was. It was just a bunch of things I didn't like about it. The engine was too far forward, in my opinion. It used to be there on those motor mounts. I made a whole new setup. Uh, as you can tell from the last video from 5 years ago, a lot has changed. I actually have steering in it now. The steering does work. I took the steering wheel out to make the dash. I need to poke the hole in it so I can put the steering wheel back on, but before I can take this off, there's a piece of 1-inch square tubing that runs across the top of here. Right now these sheetrock screws are holding it in place. I need to weld that square tubing in. It's sitting on top of the round tubing of the framework. That's what the dash is going to bolt to, and that's also what the windshield is going to bolt to. The windshield frame, anyway. I got the shifter in. It's kind of got a compound curve to it. I don't know if you can tell in the video. Let me see. It curves this way, but then it curves back down that way. And I think it felt better in my hand the way it curves. There's part of the shifter linkage, or what's going to be the shifter linkage. That side will be connected to the shifter. This side gets connected to the engine. It'll have a bushing on each side that it mounts in. Just like I did in that kart. You have to excuse the mess. I haven't done anything in here in a while. Quite a while. Here recently I just bought that engine, put the engine in it. Made a new battery tray for it. Bought a battery. I did the new engine mounts, the shifter. I made an aluminum door panel to go around that half, and then I'll make another one for this other half. Before I do that though, I gotta move this bar in about 1/4 of an inch. I didn't check it before I welded it. It's sticking out too far. My bad, minor mistake. Because I put the engine further back. Let me see, move all this. I bought a new welder machine too. Move, Roscoe. It's a titanium 125 by Vulcan. I bought it at Harbor Freight. I think it was like $300. Very, very good welder. Very, very good welder. I love it. Anyway, because I moved the engine back, I had to make a new mount. There's the new engine mount for the backside. It ties into, I don't know if you can see it down there. I should have turned my flash on. It ties into the mainframe. The mainframe of the go-kart. Originally, this was designed to have suspension. Well, you see that rod right there, that used to be a shock on both sides. Because I moved the engine back, the pivot point for the rear suspension is no longer in the same plane as the output shaft of the engine. So, no more suspension. And in doing so, I had to make a jack shaft. the jack shaft ratio right now is set for, I believe, top speed in fourth gear is going to be 93 miles an hour with a final drive ratio of 4.222 to 1. I got a 15 on the engine, a 15 on the input, 9 on the output, and 38 on the axle. In first gear with an internal 3-to-1 reduction. It's either 3-to-1 or 4-to-1. I believe it's 3-to-1. In first gear, I'm looking at like 12, I think 12.6 or 12.7 to 1 final drive ratio. And then it changes, of course, as you're going throughout the gear ratio. The gears, first, second, third gear, fourth gear. What else did I do? I guess not. Oh, I bought a new engine, and then I bought a complete engine wiring harness for electric start. Because it's for an ATV, it wasn't really long enough. So I bought automotive wire, and I extended what I needed, which would be the ignition of the key. This is the starter button, and then this is your on and off, like your kill switch. Eventually, what else? Oh, I ordered a kit that has all these little plugs in it. All of them, the 5-prong, 6-prong, 2-prong, all the way up to 12-prong. My intentions are, this Chinese wiring kit is pretty good to get you going, but the wires are cheap. I wish I could show you. It looks like it's a decent sized wire, but when you pull off the insulation, it's maybe like as thick as 4 or 5 pieces of thread. It's real thin wire. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this harness, but using this automotive wire, which is a lot better. Shit, it's 100 times better. Anyway, I'm going to make my own harness using that and the plug kit, and then I'm going to do away with this one. I'll use this harness on something else eventually. The exhaust. This is my new exhaust. It's gonna be dual exhaust. It goes in between the frame like that. And the exhaust pipes will come out right here on each side, right in front of the tires. It's 1.25 inch pipe, or 1.25 inch tubing, so it's gonna sound pretty throaty, kind of like a Harley Davidson. What else? I guess that's about it for now. All I have left to actually get to ride it is to hook up a brake cable, which is on the way in the mail. Hook up the throttle, which is on the way in the mail. Figure out what I'm going to do for the clutch, which originally I was going to put it on the end of the shifter using this. But after thinking about it, I'm going back to putting 3 pedals down there. But the idea I had was the clutch pedal goes in the middle, so it's going to be a big pedal where I can access it from either with my right foot or my left foot, depending on the situation, just like in a car. Then I have a little brake pedal and a little gas pedal. I don't need a big brake pedal because I'm using a car brake. That's a Bendix brand. It's a Bendix brand drum brake off of an old car, like in the 50s or 60s. I forget what kind of car, but that's what it come off of. It works really, really good. Anyway, I thought I'd do a little update. I'll do another one here soon, probably in the next couple weeks once I get it up and running. Thanks for watching.